Remember the good old lemonade stand? A simple table, a pitcher of refreshing drink, maybe a hand-drawn sign. It's the ultimate symbol of independent hustle, your first taste of building something for yourself. But what if I told you this simple lemonade stand could unlock the entire future of the internet? We hear these terms all the time. Web 1, Web 2, and this mysterious new thing called Web 3. And honestly, it can all sound like tech jargon designed to confuse you. Blockchain, DAOs, tokens, it's a lot. It feels abstract, complicated, and maybe even a little overhyped. But the shift happening underneath all that noise is real, and it's about one thing: power. What if we could strip away all that complexity and explain the entire concept of Web3 and how it's fundamentally changing ownership and power online using just the lemonade stand example? Today, GENSHIFT is going to take you on a journey through the past, present, and future of the internet, all through the lens of a single humble lemonade stand. Get ready for an aha moment that will change how you see your digital world. Hit that subscribe button now to join us in decoding the technology shaping our future. One, the web. One lemonade stand. Read only. The basics. Let's travel back in time. It's the mid-1990s. You've decided to take your neighborhood lemonade stand into the digital age. Welcome to Web 1. In this era, your lemonade stand's website is essentially a digital flyer. Imagine a classic pixelated web page with some charmingly clunky graphics. It's built with static HTML, meaning the content is fixed and doesn't change unless you, the owner, manually go in and rewrite the code. The page proudly displays your essential information: the secret family recipe, your location at the end of the driveway, the price, a very reasonable 50 cents, and your operating hours, which are basically after school until mom calls you in for dinner. This is the read-only web. The flow of information is strictly a one-way street. You publish information, and your customers consume it. They can visit your site to find out where you are, but they can't interact with it. There's no comment section to praise your perfectly balanced sweet and sour mix. There's no online ordering system. There are no star ratings, no photo galleries of happy customers, no way for them to engage beyond simply reading what you've posted. The user is a passive consumer of information. Now, this might sound incredibly limited, and by today's standards, it is. But at the time, it was revolutionary. For the first time, anyone with a computer and a dial-up connection could broadcast information to a global audience. Your little lemonade stand could, in theory, be seen by someone on the other side of the world. Interestingly, this early version of the web had a characteristic that would become incredibly important decades later. Many of these websites were hosted on individual servers, perhaps even a computer in someone's basement, rather than being controlled by a handful of massive corporations. It was a form of decentralization, born not out of a grand philosophy, but out of the simple, fragmented nature of a new frontier. It was a web of digital islands, each one a static signpost telling the world, "I'm here." It was the necessary first step, a foundation of information upon which everything else would be built. It was simple, it was limited, but it was a start. 2. The web, 2 lemonade stand, interactive, but you don't own it, the platform economy. Now, let's fast forward to the mid-2000s. The internet has changed. It's become social, interactive, and dynamic. Your lemonade stand is no longer on its own, lonely, static web page. Instead, you've set up shop on a massive, bustling, and incredibly popular platform we'll call SocialSip. Think of it as a mix of Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook all rolled into one. This is Web 2, the read-write web, and at first it feels like a massive upgrade. Your SocialSip page is vibrant. Customers can now like your daily specials. They can leave glowing comments about your lemonade. They can post and tag photos of themselves enjoying a cold glass on a hot day. They can share your page with their friends, and a genuine community starts to form around your humble stand. Engagement is everything. Every notification, every like, every positive comment triggers a little hit of dopamine for you and your customers, creating a powerful feedback loop that keeps everyone coming back for more. This is the magic of the participative social web. It taps into our fundamental human need for connection and validation. But there's a catch, a huge one. This platform, SocialSip, is free to use. But as we've all come to learn, when the service is free, you are the product. In exchange for this amazing, convenient community-building platform, you and your customers are paying with something far more valuable than money, your data. Imagine this. Every time a customer likes a post, leaves a review, or shares a photo, it's like a single, glowing drop of digital lemonade. But that drop doesn't go to you, the stand owner. It doesn't stay with the customer. Instead, it's siphoned away through an invisible pipe into a giant, opaque, centralized jar that belongs exclusively to SocialSip. SocialSip collects every drop, every preference, every connection, every interaction, and uses that data to sell hyper-targeted ads, getting incredibly rich in the process. You built the community, your customers provided the content, but the platform captures all the value. This is the core tension of Web 2. It gives us the feeling of community, but the structure is a dictatorship. SocialSip owns the infrastructure. They set the rules. They can change their algorithm overnight, making your page invisible. They can censor your posts if they don't like your new radical raspberry flavor. They can even shut down your page entirely, and there's nothing you can do about it because you don't own your page, your followers, or your data. This creates a feeling of powerlessness that many of us, especially Gen Z, know all too well. It's the frustration of your feed not showing you what you want to see. It's the anxiety that comes from a platform designed to keep you scrolling, even when it makes you feel worse. And it's a growing, deep-seated distrust of these massive, centralized powers that know more about you than you might know about yourself. Now the dynamic is nuanced. Studies show that Gen Z is incredibly data-savvy and understands that their data is a currency. Many are willing to share it, but for a fair and transparent exchange, a clear benefit, a discount, or a better, more personalized experience. The problem with the Web 2 model is that the exchange is anything but fair or transparent. The value is extracted, the rules are hidden, and the control rests entirely with the platform. The Web 2 lemonade stand may be popular, but it's built on rented land, and the landlord can change the lease at any moment. 3. The Web 3 lemonade stand, owned by all of us, decentralization and empowerment. This entire system is built on a foundation of radical transparency. Remember that opaque data jar from SocialSip? In Web 3, that jar is shattered. In its place is a glowing public distributed ledger, the blockchain. Every transaction, from a lemonade purchase to a vote on a new flavor, is recorded on this ledger. It's encrypted for security, but it's also transparent and immutable, meaning once a record is added, it cannot be secretly altered or deleted by anyone. This is what trustlessness means. You don't have to trust a CEO or a corporation not to misuse your data or change the rules. The trust is placed in the open, verifiable code that everyone can inspect. This directly addresses the deep desire for authenticity and transparency that defines the Gen Z mindset. This isn't just a technological shift, it's a philosophical one. It transforms the user from a passive consumer or an exploited product into an active stakeholder. For a generation that is increasingly turning to entrepreneurship, the creator economy, and side hustles to build financial autonomy in an uncertain world, this model is profoundly resonant. The Web 3 lemonade stand isn't just a better way to sell drinks. It's a blueprint for a fairer, more transparent, and more empowering digital world where you don't just use the internet, you own a piece of it. Conclusion. So, our lemonade stand has completed its journey. It started as a simple digital sign on a lonely road in Web 1. It grew into a bustling attraction within a massive walled city in Web 2, where the city's owner took most of the profits. And finally, in Web 3, it became a self-governing town, owned and operated by the very citizens who make it thrive. This evolution from a read-only web to a read-write web controlled by platforms to a read-write-own web powered by communities is more than just an upgrade in technology. It represents a fundamental shift in power, from centralized corporations back to individual users. It's a choice about the kind of digital world we want to build. The Web 3 lemonade stand is just an analogy, but the choice is real. What kind of internet do you want to build? One controlled by a few or one owned by the many? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to keep decoding the future of technology and power, make sure you're subscribed to GENSHIFT. Don't miss what's next.